I'm still watching your screen dancing.
I know, it's hilarious.
What?
You can't see what we can see on the live stream.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
You mean me just tabbing out of everything?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yes, you can see all of that. Hello and welcome to the Up for Leave podcast. I'm Coastway Will, my local line's the East Coast Way, and favourite train's Class 313. Who's next?
I'll go next. Hello, my name's Liam. My local line is the Cross City line, and my favourite train is a 323.
My name is West Mids Train Spotting. I don't actually have a name, as we all know. I'm just a random thing off the internet. My local line's the Snow Hill line. Snow Hill lines rule. And my favourite train is a Class 755.
Beautiful. Yeah. Imagine having...
I know I am. Thank you, Will.
I was going to say, is Isambard's not... Is Isambard in the studio?
Isambard is in the studio. He's sat right next to me.
Hey! If you don't know what Isambard is, you certainly do know what Isambard is. You just haven't
It's a teddy
checked
bear.
out our Twitters and YouTubes, which I'll just provide in links in the description. I can't be bothered to do iCards, or can I? But this is a new podcast where we talk about trains.
Choo-choo.
We're all rail enthusiasts from... Well, two rail enthusiasts from the Birmingham sort of area, and then you just got one southerner who just happens to be by the south coast, enjoying the better traction than 12-car trains.
How insulting.
Why do you guys only get like 6?
Are you saying that 172s are not better traction, Will?
Oh!
Just you wait until you ride them.
I have 172 minus 1s down my way. And even better, you can get them D-class, so... What?
That is true. We don't get first class on our 172s.
Yeah.
And our 323s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one would ever use
Okay,
first class on the Cross City line.
You get the good traction motors though, Liam, so...
Yeah, that's true.
There's a trade-off. But just to start, we're just gonna bundle through some news which has recently happened in recent times.
As opposed to recently happening in faraway times.
Once upon a time...
You know that thing that recently happened in 1800?
Guys, breaking news, the Stockton to Darlington Railway has been opened. Okay. We'll start
That's a bit
this.
concerning. Surely things shouldn't be being opened during COVID-19.
Yes.
Well, saying that, the traffic park extension, which is the first thing I was going to talk about, and why we have a two type, also known as a Metrolink tram, placed in front of our eyes for us to see. Is
Well, we don't. We just have your flickering back and forth screen.
Yes.
Oh, goodness sake. Just pretend there's a tram there. But they actually, despite the virus, they've opened the extension to Trafford Park from Pomona. So you can now do some more shopping things. The actual stations...
Well, no, you can't do more shopping things because
Well,
that's not really an
normally-
essential journey.
If you're a key worker, you can go shopping. Just
No,
behind
you're
the
meant to
counter.
go to work and then go home.
Yeah. But they have stops. So it branches off from Pomona. Then it
All branch lines, that's my sort of territory.
Yeah, and then it goes to Wharfside Imperial War Museum. Not the better one. You need to go to London for the better one.
Yeah.
Village. That is literally just the name of a stop. Village. Parkway, Barton Dock Road, and Trafford Centre, which is where you can find a big stadium full of rowdy football fans on a day without a virus.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So it's a new way to go and watch some people kick a ball around on a field.
And get paid
Yes, the
millions a
excitement
week.
of balls being kicked around.
yeah, into a net, may I add.
Of course, that just adds more excitement.
Yep. I wonder if they're ever going to reopen the actual halt as well on the main line, or if that's just going to be a relic of the past now this has opened.
I wonder actually.
Yeah. I mean,
It was the best train operated that service.
what was it actually? 323s?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
On Jeff and Vicky's video, it was.
But you never know what they could have put on 319s. This is
That's true.
you can't tell. But now next, basically the next few slides are all going to be about the COVID-19 disaster, which for a thing called COVID-19 has only affected us in year 20. But why do you think I've just plopped whole trains on there?
Because they've been terminated all of their they suspended all of their services, not terminated, that's the wrong word.
Yes.
Suspended all their
They
services
have no
until
services
further notice.
to terminate.
You could also pop Grand Central or Gatwick Express on the
That
screen,
is
may I
also
add.
true.
Yeah, but last time I checked, Gatwick Express wasn't open access, but sure. But, yeah, if you guys want to catch an Adelante, you can no longer do that on the UK network, because they're all not in service.
Normally because they've been involved in a fire, but sometimes because they've had their services suspended.
Yes, and
Yeah.
fire!
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire? Fire?
You won't be going anywhere.
Yeah, well, literally, you'll be going nowhere. LNER, they were like, nah, we're going to withdraw services to Hull. Then Hull trains backed out, and they were like, yeah,
We
ignore
can't
what
anymore.
we said about not serving Hull. So now the Hull executive is running.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Didn't get a chance to do that because on the weekend I went to Hull, there was some engineering works meant it got cancelled, which was slightly sad.
Didn't you have a lovely 50-mile-an-hour speed restriction on the way back from Hull?
Indeed, we did. That was well, to be on a Paragon at 50 miles an hour was interesting, but I did spend most of the journey looking at my watch, going, "Oh, how much delay repay can I get from this?"
Because you only were you like going all the way down to London or just across to Donny, whatever?
Just to Donny. Then we got on. No, we didn't get on cross country. We got on Northern to Sheffield, and then cross country from there.
I assume that was a pacer.
It wasn't a pacer, actually. It was a 170.
Oh yeah, they're going down there.
They are.
Wow. Because, and actually, speaking of pacers, I don't have a slide dedicated to them. I probably should, but actually,
Yeah.
all the 144s have been withdrawn.
Yeah.
Rip.
Most of the 142s on Northern are gone, and Transport for Wales are only running pacers at the moment if they really need to.
So basically, they're trying to avoid it.
Yeah. GWR and pacers. Oh yeah, they're not running too.
They've got one as a mess room at Exeter, I think, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, just any random train, because I saw on Twitter, there was an EMR driver. I'll plug him at Hipper. He was doing the York diagram, the Sunday York diagram, which surprisingly they haven't cancelled. Which is once a week on a Sunday they just randomly send a 222 into York. No reason, except for the drivers get to visit the NRM. Okay,
Gotta love the NRM
behind it. But they used normally the 222 never performs a shunt into some sidings, but Control were just like, no, keep the 222 there. We need to use it as a mess room.
Of course.
Which meant the drivers were saved from having to use a Voyager. That would have been unlucky. A bit more on the timetables because, you know, and also I get to show
Why
off
not?
my photo of 390-155. I have 156 as well, but
I've got none of them yet.
oh, literally when I saw.
I have
After you.
I have saw 156, and I got a really basic photo of it, but I haven't taken a proper photo yet.
That would be beautiful. Just a beautiful photo of a blur. But yeah, I was literally just waiting at Haymarket. Got a 397 coming round. I was with Minion and Josh.
Yeah.
Of course you were. When aren't you?
Not often. Don't worry. We are not attached. We saw 397 go through Haymarket. We're like, we're gonna get ScotRail service in, and he looked on like the Railcam forums because he has a subscription. I don't, so just use his. And he went, "Oh, the new Avanti Pendo's just about to come around." So it's like, sure, we'll have a look, and we'll have a ride in the completely unchanged version interiors.
They will be changed soon, though. Value class being added.
Oh no!
Is that actually going ahead?
I believe so. Yeah, it actually looks quite decent.
Didn't they want to put in standard 3+2 seating?
That's value class. Yeah, I believe it's 3+2 in value class.
No, not on the Pendo.
But I suppose for the fares they're offering, it's pretty fair, isn't it? Because you can still have your 2+2 in normal standard class. Don't know what they'll be calling it at that point, but then you can also get 3+2 for a very, very reasonable fee.
Yeah, but that's just not, especially in
I
something
wonder
like a
how
Pendo.
many carriages they're gonna use.
I'd imagine it'll be something like 3 coaches out of a 9 and 4 out of an 11.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Like, they already... Remember the days when Virgin had, like, four first class and 5 standard class coaches for their 9 cars?
Yes.
Oh, lovely and ridiculous. Because, Pendolinos, they have a special place in my heart. It's like, the days I used to visit Scotland a lot more frequently than I do now. It was up by plane until, like, 2011 or something like that. Then it was always, like, Pendolinos up and down the country. So I've done a lot of Pendolino mileage. But even recently, they've grown on me.
Good silence.
Yeah. Me just dramatically having a dramatic speech about a class of train.
Yes.
Which
That's what we do here, isn't it? We just talk about trains in dramatic ways.
But yeah, well, timetable now to actually talk about what I was intending to talk about. But come on, we've only done 16 minutes of recording or something like that. We need at least an hour. So
yeah.
Welcome to the latest instalment of How to Bulk Out Watch Time on YouTube.
Yeah, you've never heard of it. I don't think any of your videos exceed 10 minutes.
One is 13 minutes long.
Oh,
Was that the
13.
Snow Hills?
Oh. No, that's the Cheshire Day Ranger one.
Ah.
Yeah, because then you've just got my videos, so I'm just like, a gigabit of trains. Oh, over an hour long. Nah, add more. But, yes. So, London North Eastern Railway aren't running any trains beyond Edinburgh. So if you want to go to Glasgow, use Avanti. If you want to go to Inverness, use ScotRail. If you want to go to Aberdeen, use ScotRail. I would say use cross country, but do you seriously want to be on a Voyager?
No.
Exactly. There's actually a regular service to Wolverhampton again now. It's 1 train an hour on a just like it used to be, Euston to Wolverhampton.
They do still do some services which are used into Wolverhampton. I appreciate the vast
the
majority of them are Scotland services, but there are still a few.
Just the classic, 2011, you just had Pendolinos taking as much time as they need just to go all the way from London to Wolverhampton. And they stopped at Watford more regularly, I swear, back in 2011.
Mm.
So, because apparently Watford bad, but Watford good, actually.
Well, last time I went to Watford, I got stuck by a power failure at Northampton, so that's
Ooh.
kind of destroyed my opinion of them. But
And I was once held for 13 minutes for no reason. We were never given a reason. I think it was a signalling failure.
13? Whoa!
Yeah, well,
What disruption!
I was on Southern, but it was all
Not
Network Rail's
surprised.
fault. I got to Clapham I just missed my connection.
That is a painful moment.
Yep. But I tried to claim delay repay. Nope. Apparently, I could have caught that connection. So, thanks, Southern.
Oh,
I do love you, Southern. Don't worry. It's just yeah. Not everyone can make every connection, even if they do have fast legs and just sprint across the bridge at Clapham.
yeah.
But yeah, 1 train an hour Euston Wolverhampton, 1 train an hour to Manchester via Stoke-on-Trent and Macclesfield. So you now have to take
Wilmslow is not being served by Virgin or Avanti anymore.
Yeah, which is a shame. That's my preferred route to get into Manchester.
It is a good route.
Yeah.
It's my nice, like when I want to go and have a ride on Northern, I just go crew to Wilmslow because it's just an easy route, which is relatively inexpensive to get to from the West Midlands.
Yeah. Now you have 331s, so
Yes, 331s are good.
yep.
I saw one on test at Stoke before.
A 331.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Northern go to Stoke. Oh,
Yeah.
they
Yes.
do. Duh.
Once an hour.
Silly Will.
Yeah. 1 train an hour to Glasgow, so you're still retaining your Glasgow.
Is that via Birmingham?
Of course
I believe
not.
that's up
You don't
Trent
want
Valley.
to go to Birmingham. It takes
Well, yeah, you'd have to come near us lot.
It takes 50 minutes longer or something like that if you go via Birmingham to get to
Oh, yeah.
So you just have to send it via the Trent Valley.
It goes up by Joe.
Oh, Joe.
1 train per day to Chester with another
Joking,
train
Joe.
per day and then going on to Holyhead, so technically 2 trains per day, London to Chester. Then there's also a shuttle 1 train per 2 hours from Birmingham to Chester, so you can still go to Wales from Birmingham on the van.
Yeah.
You'd think we were the service announcement at the stations warning you of disruption.
I also have EMR.
Please do not travel during this period. There are only 2 trains per day from London to Chester. Check before you travel at somerandomwebsite.com.
What if it's .co.uk?
Well, then that puts a spanner in the works for me, but let's just hope it isn't.
False advertising. Yeah, I mean, if people haven't noticed already, I don't want to get copyright strikes on this channel, so I'm just using either my own images or from Liam and
Yeah.
West Midlands train spotting. So that's good. 1 train. Okay, East Midlands Railway. I've also got. They've been really badly hit. So 1 train per hour from St Pancras to Sheffield.
I swear that's normal.
2 trains an hour, I believe. Oh no!
I thought it was 2 trains an hour too, yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or
Oh.
it's like 1 train per hour to Sheff, 1 train an hour to Derby.
Ah.
Something like
They
that.
don't terminate at Derby with the intercity services, I know that much. They do have the Nottingham services as well, though.
Oh yeah, they're completely screwed. 1 train every 2 hours, I believe it's down to. I don't think it goes all the way to. I don't know where it terminates. Is it Peterborough? I'll have to search it up. I'll just put in a description where it actually is, which isn't. It's just terminating.
Obviously now will forget to do that, and you'll all be
Yeah.
going, why hasn't he bothered to put that in the description?
I've done it plenty. I'm good at forgetting things. It's just sheer natural talent. 1 train per hour to Nottingham, and it's not a HST.
Boo.
In fact, the only HSTs are running are the Leeds services. They're still going to Leeds, just because they have to, because Neville Hill reasons.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
But then there's a shuttle between Kettering and Corby, so there's no trains from London to Corby. I find it ironic how before they had to refurb St Pancras for the Channel Tunnel Rail Link, so when they had plenty of platforms, they actually ran only one train an hour to Sheffield and one train an hour to Nottingham, and Corby hadn't reopened back then. But then, as soon as HS1 came along and they had just 4 platforms to deal with, they now have 2 trains an hour to practically all the in-city locations and Corby to serve. Because that makes sense. And then, yeah, one train for 2 hours basically everywhere else. So that's that. We're going to talk about these things.
Have you just put a picture of a train on screen or something?
Yes, it's
because we are going to talk about those things. That is what we're here to do. In case you hadn't gathered,
it's a certain Bombardier product. Our good friend the Adventurers are getting along well now.
The ones I built a wooden version of.
Wait, well, I don't know what you were trying to build, but it was certainly a wooden train.
I tried to make it look like an. There we go, cross garden. See, Bentley parked to shedding via Greenhouse Parkway.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You can tell I'm bored.
Yeah. Did you include a really pointless halt called Bernie Arms?
I didn't. I did include called Waterbutt Halt.
Can you change for any cross-channel ferries to other side of pond?
I'm afraid not. No, we don't provide any services over there.
Oh. Well, rest in peace to the cruise ferries. But 196s are doing well. They're basically the same as these, but they're basically rehashed 172s. But
yeah.
Yes.
So not much is changing there. And then you have the GA 720s, which are actually testing now. Only a year late.
Still looking forward to them being in service. They look amazing.
Yeah, they look really. They look really interesting. I'm intrigued as well. Like, as soon as they're in service, I'm gonna wait and get on them.
Provided it's not during COVID, you wouldn't make a non-essential journey, would you, Will?
Oh, of course. No non-essential journeys. No, sorry. Yeah, no non-essential journeys. I thought I just said no essential journeys. That would be a disaster. God. And now we can also talk about these things. Which this photo is actually West Midland Train Spotting's photo. It's a 230.
Ooh, 230.
Sorry about that. Don't know what happened, but I got disconnected. I'm back now anyway.
We're talking about 230s.
Oh, good old 230s.
Yeah, you say good old, but everyone's criticising the front of the Transport for Wales ones, which are, new to the pack.
I like that.
I
think they look
I second Liam's opinion. I like it.
I also like it, personally. So, it's critically acclaimed by the Up Relief panel, but not by enthusiasts, which is a shame. I like it. So, but they're testing. They're doing, like, Borders line, won't they? They'll be doing the Borders line. I hope I haven't bored you all with that.
I missed half of it because I got disconnected, so you haven't bored me at all.
But yeah, it's probably going to be late into service because, the 230s on the Marsden Vale line, let's just say they're not the most reliable things in the world. So, I mean, less than 1,000 miles per technical incident.
Yes.
So it will only go well for the Transport for Wales 230s, which I think they're battery hybrid, I believe.
I believe they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if they fit the charging points as well.
That would be good.
Yeah, or if they're just currently running off diesel. Something we haven't seen, because the 484s are currently in production, the body shells are somewhere, but no one's asked for... There is technically a D-Train model with a pantograph you can buy.
That sounds cool. I should set up. I mean, I built a wooden train, so the next thing I need to do is build a track around my garden and put a pantograph 230 on it.
What I would have loved is 230s to be on the Marshlink line, but with like third rail and diesel hybrid or third rail and battery hybrid. But Gradients beyond Bo Peep Junction say no. So that's that. And then you got the 387s testing for ETCS. But the photo I've used is of a is 387105, so let's not dwell for too long and move on. That's all the news.
Is it question time?
It is not question time. That'll be after our train highlights. So if this actually works out, we're going to do this podcast monthly, so releasing to like the first day of the new month, except for April, where we'll probably do it April the 2nd, just so nothing looks like a fake.
Yeah.
I don't tend to release stuff on April the 1st anyways. It's just classic me. But every month we'll be highlighting a train, we'll be talking about that train, rambling on about it and other things for like 10 or 15 minutes, which would be nice.
We're very good at rambling on about trains.
Yeah.
In this case, we're going to talk about the HSTs.
Ah, yes, the ones which are superior over the Class 37s, Liam.
Yes.
He admits. So, the reason why we've all chosen the 43 is because, of course, we
want Liam to cry on air, that's why.
Yes.
No.
Sean is the master of the Twitter polls, which he claims was his own idea, even though myself, a guy called InstaSim, and then everyone's favourite, Geoff Marshall, has done polls. So he had a World Cup of Trains, and this one
Locos.
Locos.
Yeah, but you also
It did win Britain's favourite train too.
That's the one I'm on about.
Ah.
Then you had a World Cup of Locos. And the 43s won. The Mark 3s didn't win. They only won once.
Oh, we've just had another question pop into our inbox.
Well, too late.
Rip.
I've
let
made
him
a
know
lovely
that.
PowerPoint, and it took me ages to do it. As you can see by the background always being a 172, and you can see it because of my 6,000 by 4,000 photos. So deal with it. But it's, I guess the best thing I can describe it is the childhood train for everyone.
Yeah.
Because, this is the trains I've grown up with, or when going up to Scotland, because at one point my family were like, actually, we'll prefer to take the East Coast up every time now, because it's slightly cheaper, which I don't think it's actually that much cheaper.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to encounter, because I have family in Helensburgh, you have to then head across from Edinburgh to Helensburgh. Anyone who takes the Edinburgh to Helensburgh via Bathgate services, please note that you are stupid. Take a regular E&G service and change it.
He said that, not me.
At Queen Street. But 10 o'clock Northern Lights is how I can easily describe HSTs for me, because I would normally take the Northern Lights because it's, go in first class and have a full LNER breakfast, or VTEC as it used to be. But yeah, that and the Mark IVs generally.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because guess where I saw my first HST?
At a railway station.
Well done. Just well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Was it moving?
Yes, it was moving at line speed.
Ah.
So at a non-major railway station then?
Well, Well, it's a suburban railway station. I say suburban. It gets a really good amount of trains per hour, actually.
So I'm assuming it's one of the Thameslink Great Northern ones on the way out of King's Cross towards
It
Peterborough and
is
Stevenage.
not. It's
No? Oh.
actually you'll be surprised. Surbiton
Somewhere.
on the southwestern main line.
And did you see the network measurement train? Because that doesn't count.
No. First Great Western, occasionally when Paddington was shut, would send a few diverted trains
Waterloo, weren't it?
into Waterloo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, did they reverse at like Basingstoke and Reading, or how did they do it?
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah. It's either that or you send them all the way via Salisbury. But I doubt you'd want to do that.
That would be painful.
Yeah. Shame, it was on like the car park at Surbiton and not an actual platform, so... I could just hear
Did
the
you say
engine
car?
going, no. But, West Midlands train spotter, why 43s for you?
Why 43s for me? That is a good question. I'd imagine it's probably just because I have ridden the 43s a lot more and seen the 43s a lot more than the Class 37. And I am obviously a bit biased as well because of the fantastic farewell tour on LNER last year, which was truly amazing. But, yeah.
Probably my favourite was just doing it on the third day, because I did days 3 and 4. I didn't do the first 2 days because basically because family reasons I wouldn't have been able to go up on the Monday. Was it Monday? When did the tour start? No, the tour started.
I think it was a Thursday. No, Wednesday, weren't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would have been because
Yeah.
Thursday would have been going back to Edinburgh, which is actually when I went up in the end. And Friday was when we left Scotland and went to England.
Was it Leeds?
Yeah,
it was Edinburgh to Leeds on the third day.
That was my favourite leg. It was just so
Because I remember.
What? You mean the leg where you met me wasn't your favourite leg?
We didn't really cross paths.
We crossed paths for about 2 minutes at the end when I came to say goodbye to Liam, who I'd been chatting to a bit earlier. Not you, Liam. Liam's rail photography. And you were there with him. So it was literally about 2 minutes whilst I said goodbye and then headed to get my train back up north.
Yes, basically screw me for not remembering that. Well, because you only started like Twitter in October, so...
Yes, October the 30th, I think, the first tweet went out on.
Ooh.
It's ridiculous that I know this.
Yeah. Well, I
can't remember when my Twitter start.
I
started in August.
Ooh.
Twitter.
I've done it since 2018. So
yeah,
I've done Twitter for 2 years now. It's a lot of fun. Twitter. It's the best and worst platform described by most, but I just honestly think it's the best.
It is good. It is very good.
Yeah. But yeah, because the HT Route, the second day, as well as having like, how many of you remember seeing the news on the day of the third leg? Because there was a guy called Gideon, who was from Chicago.
Oh,
yes.
What was quite funny was myself and Minion Josh, who I'd done the entire tour with. No, not the entire tour. He did the entire tour, but I paid for the tickets for myself and him on the last 2 days, so he easily got the first 2 days as a package. But we were the first people actually to meet Gideon. We were going into Edinburgh Waverley, and he was like, "Hey, you guys on the HST Rail Tour?" We're like, "Oh yes." And he the first thing he mentioned was he had come all the way from Chicago to do this.
Yeah.
And all of that, and then he just became a celebrity amongst us. It was fantastic. But yes, was quite lucky. Okay, so that was lucky. I also witnessed beautiful things like going like we were held up for 1 Victor 60, which was nice. Berwick was quite fun because I got a tweet over 100 likes only because I got Nigel Harris in the tweet.
Oh.
And then whilst we were crossing the Tyne Bridge, David Horn had passed just a few moments ago. Not Tyne Bridge, King Edward. Minion Josh broke his seat.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture of that. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and literally, the performance manager at the time, Peter Sharp, who I'd actually met on a previous journey up to Scotland, so I was like, oh, it's so good to see each other again. He gave us a tutorial of how to put a Mark IV seat back together.
Mark III.
Mark 3.
Same thing but different. But we were given a tutorial of how to repair a seat the easy way.
Did it involve a lot of whacking something?
No, actually. Minimal
No?
whacks.
I normally just grab a hammer out and smack something. That tends to work for me.
Yeah.
Give it a good kick.
Last day was also pretty good. That's the day
Because
came
you met
along.
me. Thank you, thank you.
But I was in the carriage Tim Dunn was in when he did his started his live stream right at the end. So
Saw that on your video.
we were the carriage which had to shout very loudly hip hip hooray. And one of
I
our
remember we pulled in, sorry for interrupting you, remember we pulled in at King's Cross and my entire carriage started clapping, but then one person just shouted, let's go round again, to try and get them to start it up again.
yeah. It's not over until it's over. But one of our pre-preparation notes was make sure you actually shout nice and loud. I don't want to look awkward. But honestly, and just watching it go out wasn't as spectacular as the May 18th, 2018, as it's known as.
That was amazing.
Oh, wait, were you at Paddington for that?
I wasn't at Paddington, no, I was in Worcester. I had something on in the afternoon, so I couldn't go to Paddington, but I did go and see the last westbound. No, eastbound.
East.
One of the departures. The departure towards Paddington, the penultimate HST at Worcester Shrub Hill.
Yeah.
I went and saw.
Yeah, because I saw the final four leave, but I still have chills down my spine whenever I go to YouTube and just play the clips again of very last HST departing and just hearing the tones of the HST. I'm not fussed about horns normally, but that just sends a chill down my spine.
Yeah.
Ooh. But yeah, I've done the East Midlands HSTs as well, and
I've seen them. I haven't been on them. The
I've been on
East
them.
Midlands.
yeah, well, you're probably too late now, Liam, because
Yeah.
COVID's killed off. It's basically going to kill off the VP 185s.
Yeah.
They're currently driver training on the red sets. As they're called.
Yeah, there was one on Sunday, weren't there?
Yep. What a very inventive nickname, the red sets.
I know, I mean, who could have thought of that?
Anyone with some sort of imagination. Waiting for interim livery. ...
That's going to look amazing, a purple HST.
That looks fantastic. Because people commonly criticise 222104, saying it looks really awful. I love it.
I like it.
It looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the 230 front, isn't it? All of us agree that it looks nice.
I like
Everyone
that.
else goes, no.
Yeah. We are not
There's
one
gonna
with
be
the veg,
range
but we are one with
in
the
the comments.
enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But they're really comfy, the VP185 set ones. The LNER ones are also fantastic. They're the best for comfort, honestly.
Defo.
I did one GWR HST from Reading to Paddington. It was so comfy that it was full and standing, so I was standing.
Oh,
So,
very comfortable indeed.
But I did do, back last year, my LNER service from Inverness to Edinburgh, Highland Chieftain, got cancelled between Inverness and Perth.
Ah.
Previous day it was overhead wire difficulties, and so train crew wouldn't have had enough respite. So, so I had to get a ScotRail service down to Stirling and then take a 385 across to Edinburgh. But it was because we had first class. We were expecting breakfast. We didn't get any breakfast in the end. God damn it. Except for like
Sad times.
really bad Costa Inverness.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've never had a good Costa.
Good in Costa. They mix normally. So I don't You've probably not. You've probably only been to Costa once then.
Not too many times, to be fair.
Okay, we'll decide what too many times is later. But we went on a unrefurb, a classic Seven Cities HST down to Edinburgh. But the GWR first class seats they inherited, they're awful. I really don't like them. They're so uncomfortable.
How rude!
I know. Disgrace against humanity. It's those needy crosshatch string things.
Yeah. They're not the most comfortable I've sat on, I'm not going to lie. But they're not bad at all. I enjoyed my trip on them.
Yeah. I have tested out a Seven Cities HST, but it was full and standing, so...
This is the problem at the moment. People are all saying, there's not enough capacity. But that's just because we can't keep up, because the railways are increasingly popular, and therefore we can't keep up with the demand, apart from at the moment, at which point you get a 5-car train all to yourself, as I discovered when I had to make an essential journey.
Yep. I mean, hey, ScotRail, ScotRail had this idea of, we're going to have 2+4 and 2+5 sets, which is good.
Yeah.
But they introduced the 2+4 sets first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, if I go ahead with a certain plan in August, I will reveal what that is.
I know the one, yeah.
I will have to get a ScotRail HST down from Dundee to Glasgow. That'll be fun.
They do look nice, to be fair. They just are busy because they're so popular.
Isn't there a cupboard in there which says tartan paint storage? Keep out.
I don't know. I haven't been on there.
I believe there's a storage cupboard which literally says tartan paint storage. Keep out.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And there's also the castle sets that exist.
Yes, down southwest area.
Yeah. Also, another plan in October, which I am not revealing for now, will involve...
We know.
cross-country HSC sets from Tamworth,
yes.
Tamworth to Cheltenham. So that will be fun, because I have the diagrams for it, but it'll be 1 Victor 50. So that's fun. But, East Midlands are losing their HSTs completely at some point. And
Is it the end of the year?
And LNER are losing HSTs without replacement. Well, have lost.
I don't think it's going to be the end of the year. I think it was the end of 2022 or something last time I checked, because it'll take a while to get all the 810s in service, won't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
More IETs. Lovely.
To be fair, I've seen a few things, and the 810s do look pretty nice, and they've mentioned about making them sort of nice and luxurious inside, so I'm interested to see what they do with them. But I don't mind IETs. I actually find the seats quite comfortable.
I find them alright.
Depending... Okay, so I've been on the LNER and the GWR ones, not been on a Paragon yet. Oh, and I've been on the Nova 2s. Nova 2s I find...
Nova 1s.
Nova
2s are the 397s.
Yeah, which I'm still yet to do, but there's a plan to do that.
They are good. They are very good.
I'm not going to talk about how many attempts I've had to try and get on the Nova 3 and have failed. Basically, there's a 0% success rate out of about 7 attempts. But Nova 1s are the most comfortable, in my opinion. They've really been done very nicely. And the RS ones are good as well. But GWRs, I'm just like, the standard seats are rubbish. First class is okay, but to be honest, the IETs are inadequate for the Paddington Penzance. They don't have a buffet car.
They're not that bad.
Yeah.
I admit they do have a slightly regional feel to them, which isn't exactly what you want in an intercity train, but they're not bad at all, to be fair.
They're not bad, but they're not good either.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. They're sort of in the middle for me.
Yeah.
I love GWR as an operator, but the
GWR
IETs certainly aren't my favourite train.
GWR think it's acceptable to put 165s down towards Brighton. I cannot agree with them. What's a Paragons like? Because it's a plan, but I haven't done a Paragon yet.
Paragons are excellent.
Nice. Comfy?
They are, yeah. I'd say they're my favourite out of the IETs. Please don't murder me, LNER, GWR or TPE, but I'd say they are.
Ooh, I will have to train them then. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Hull Trains had a HST set for a little while, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did.
I saw it a few times. Always unexpectedly. Once just waiting its turn at duty at King's Cross. I have photos up on Twitter. And the other doing driver training through Grantham. At full pelt.
Cool.
So that's that. I think we're done for HSTs, are we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Liam hasn't started crying, so can we insert Liam crying noise here for about a minute?
That's failed. Right. Normally, this would be a guest. This is our first episode. We did we asked like 1 or 2 people if they could come on as a guest. That didn't work. So we've basically gone to Twitter and asked questions like 18 hours in advance of recording. So that's only gone well. Well, we'll just put up the questions with a class 139 in the background, because why not? Twitter tags are shown as well if you want to follow them. We've shown a maximum of 2 questions for any people which submitted multiple ones.
I would just like to say to the people who are submitting questions, please use grammar, because it's rather annoyed me because Will has gone and copied down your exact tweet. So where you've put double spaces, they're in there. Where you've spaced between your question marks, mentioning no names, that's in there. Please stop.
And use
No, keep doing it to annoy West Midlands train spotter. Please, please annoy him. But first question.
Don't or no
Liam.
cookies.
We're going to try and answer them as in greater detail as possible. So first of all, class 37 or HST. I'll start and then I'll ask for West Midlands train spotter's opinion and then Liam's opinion. For me, it's the latter, so the HST. It's a childhood memory for me, especially going up to Scotland. It's a classic. Yes, I like 37s, but they don't have they just don't click with me.
Yeah.
Westminster train spotting?
I concur with Will. HSTs for me.
Yep. What's your reasoning?
My reasoning is just that as I said earlier, I've ridden on HSTs a fair bit. They always provide a nice, comfortable ride. They've got excellent, comfy seats in practically all of the carriages I've tried out anyway. I think there was only one bad experience I had on an HST, and that was just because it was a massively busy service because all the ones before had been cancelled. So yeah, I really enjoy travelling on them, and I've never ever travelled behind a 37, so I just that is my reasoning.
Because to be honest, are you more of a what some people call as a train basher?
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Not really bashing, but just you prefer just riding trains than actually train spotting.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because I do a mixture of both.
I'll do a mixture.
In recent years, I've done more photography, but I still do videos. It's important I keep up my YouTube channel, and it's important I practice filming. I want to do films when I'm older. It's the future. So, when I have an excuse to film, I shall film. Liam.
Yes.
37s or HSC?
I'm going to actually say 43.
Hey! And
we have converted you, Liam.
Yeah. I've only ever been on one. this was way before I actually started doing this properly, and I thought it was all right.
Huh.
But yeah,
You've not got much to say about our fantastic Mr. Beasts.
I know.
Liam, what bit of bulking out watch time did you not get?
Oh God! I'm going to put a little, because this is the first episode and I need a trailer. I'm going to pick out some of these phrases we've said just for this would be fun. Next, also from Alex Class 315. I forgot to credit you last time, but I credited you now. In your opinion, are some new trains as bad and uncomfortable as people make them out to be, or are they actually decent trains? They're decent. So, well, I say they're decent. Mixed bag.
Yeah.
I've done... Okay, we're counting... Because there's no specification here, we're counting as anything which was built 5 years ago to present day. So,
Yeah.
things like 397s, the 80X family, the 700 family, flirts, you get the idea. The Zero Cities I can sum up in 700s are pretty good, especially the class first, which is fun. 707s are rubbish, and...
No, they are not.
Well, not rubbish, but bland. Same with 717s. The flirts are great, they're fantastic trains. Well,
they are, absolutely.
The 755s at least. I've not done the 745s, but I'll end up...
No, that's a plan for once we're allowed back out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be one that I need to do, so hey, we can organise that together.
We can indeed.
My favourite are the Civities, so the 331s and 195s. More so the 331s. I'm yet to do the 397s, so that could all change. They sound fantastic, especially the 331s. They're comfortable. They're really, they're nice. I like them as a passenger, but a train crew don't like them, especially guards, because CASAF thought having a guards panel at every other door instead of every door was a good idea. Any other new trains I've forgotten about? IETs.
Yeah.
We've already said about IETs, so mixed bag.
I don't really get people's problem with them.
Nor do
about
I.
the seats. I think they're all right.
It's seats.
Yeah.
I thought you were
The seats are absolutely fine for me. I might go as far as saying I find them quite comfortable sometimes.
The IET ones?
Yes. Please don't slaughter me, all the people who don't find them who find them uncomfortable.
Some of the standard
I
seats,
find them fine.
Some of the standard seats, it's just a no. Remember, they're built for 7-hour journeys, like London to Inverness. So, but they're okay. I'll just have to say WMT. Opinions on new trains.
Opinions on new trains. I cannot think of a new train I don't like.
Oh, okay.
That may just be because I love all trains, apart from 153s, because I just don't like them. But I do like practically every train. But I haven't got a problem with any of the new trains. I know there are a load of people complaining about the DFT spec seats and things like that. I don't have a problem with that. I find all the ones comfortable. Even with ironing board seats in inverted commas, I don't have a problem with those. Particularly the contoured ones, they're even nicer. Like the ones that are coming in on the 701s, they're contoured ones, so they're actually comfortable. I find them more comfortable than some seats which would be regarded generally as older seats, which are nicer, apparently. So yeah, I don't have a problem with them at all. I like them all. I'm looking forward to seeing more coming in over the next couple of years, and in the future as well.
Yeah. Anyone who says DFT, that it's bad because DFT spec the seats, remember they've partially done this probably to improve safety standards, especially with things like high back seating. Liam.
Hello.
Hi.
I like them. All of the new trains. The IUTs are great. I am looking forward though to the 196s coming in to WMR. They're exciting.
there you guys. You got guaranteed new trains. I'm just like, what's replacing the 171s? You still haven't told us, and the battery trial with the 377s isn't going as planned. Come on, please.
I'm also looking forward to the new Cross City trains. Finally.
730s do look excellent.
Yeah.
They're basically the rip-off 172s. I like the look at them. Let's just see if
Mezzi's the one who complains about all the front of them.
Yeah.
I remember that 385172 mashup tweet that he made. But I do like the look of them.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to be accused of being overly positive about new trains now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yep. UK Train Spotter says, what's your favourite sounding train? So, like, with traction motors and stuff.
Can I answer this first?
Well, okay, say class 323.
323.
Dear me.
We just know. 331s for me, probably. And, 397s as well, because they have the same sort of motors. They just sound beastly. And from the inside, I do love listening to the compressor noises for the 390s.
Oh, yeah.
You just get this nice ooh sort of noise. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Partially like, one of 1,000 reasons I like Pendolinos. Also, quite a lot of Brel stuff as well. It's just amazing. So 442s, especially at speed with the power on. Peps, 319s, basically just Brel stuff. So 323s as well, 465.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Um,
And finally, WNT.
I'm a bit ashamed to answer this question because I am not the sort of person who listens to motor noises on trains. But if I had to pick out a noise which on the railway I look forward to hearing, it would be the noise of a Class 172 coming into a station.
Oh.
Just because that's my local train and it always simplifies the start of a trip. So practically every trip I do starts on a 172.
Love it! And of course, 172s, you got the constant gear changes, which are satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Technically, all trains actually have gearboxes, but the 172, you can physically just hear it. I don't know why it's that, but there we go. Ollie Plevin says, in the future, do you think rail travel will be used more than road travel? I can't predict the future, but will it be more used? Depends.
I think so.
Advancements go, because if electric cars and hydrogen cars go well,
Yeah.
we'll probably not see as much growth from the railway, but the railway will continue to grow. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah.
WNT?
I don't think it will ever be able to be more popular than cars, purely because, obviously, our railway halved in the 1960s with the beaching cut, which means that in some places it's more convenient to get the car just because you can't get sometimes anywhere near a place you want to go on the train, which means that for some people taking the car is the only option to get to where they need to be. So I think overall road transport will stay the same, because I think the only real way for rail transport to grow in that way would be for people to stop using cars altogether. And if they don't have the ability to go everywhere they need to by public transport, which they don't unfortunately at the moment, then there is no way of them being able to give up their car, and therefore unfortunately that's unlikely to happen.
I mean, there's an easy solution to this. Just have Class 139s going, just shuttling to the town or village stations.
That would be good.
What's a random place in the middle of nowhere that we know, which should technically get a railway station? Welcome to Hailsham. Please change from a Class 139 shuttle to Polegate. Beautiful. Liam!
On the passenger front, I'm not really sure, but on the freight stuff, I think it could grow.
Oh, that's something we haven't thought of.
Hadn't thought about freight, yeah.
Yes. All I'm going to say for freight is just yes.
Yeah.
The more,
There's
well,
more.
especially with HS2 coming,
Yeah,
we'll have more space for
definitely.
freight.
They want to take more trucks and cars off the road.
Yep. Now it'll be
Not
the truck's
that.
turn to go to CF booths.
Not the Pacers.
Yeah,
Well, let's hope so. It's the inferior mode of transport.
indeed. Yorkie Kid asks, what got you into, what got you interested into the hobby? Basically meaning trains. For me, there's a few reasons. Probably the main reason was my location, and because Surbiton, the town I used to live in, I now live off on the east coast way somewhere. Um, it's the most ideal suburban station in London, and that's a fact, not just opinion. It's actual fact. It gets something like 4 trains an hour going direct into Waterloo, 2 of them being just one stop at Clapham. A heck of a ton of suburban services. It's perfect. So I used to go into London all the time and on trains, and I used to have little train trips with my dad on like certain weekends. Just doing that repetitively got me into trains. It just stuck with me.
Yeah.
West Midlands Train Spotter.co.uk. He doesn't have a website.
I don't have a website. I'm too cheap. So what got me into trains really was I was in trains when I was a bit younger, and I went off them for a few years, had a few other interests, but then I got back into them when I started taking them on my commute home. So I was taking the train for an hour to get home every day, and that just sort of made me like them because they were making my life a bit easier. I enjoyed the fact that I was able to have an hour just sitting out the window, reading a book, whatever I wanted to do on the train, rather than the slightly more rushed experience of going in the car. So that's what really got me into it.
Yeah. Because the weird thing with me is that I have no members of my family are actually past involved in trains. Normally it just runs through the family, but I've started it off.
Yeah, me.
Same for you as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liam, how did you get into all of this?
Well,
Yeah.
same as Sean. Really, I was into it when I was little, and then I took a back seat. And then one day, me and my friend Josh, we went to Birmingham Airport to do something, and then we got bored, and we went to Marston Green, and just spent hours there, just watching things go by. And that's how it properly started this time round.
So it was all on just one trip, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Awesome. So it's mostly like just one trip, like trips and stuff, just,
Yeah.
and being curious, really. One for Liam and the West Midlands train spotting, really.
Here we
Favourite
go.
Cross City Line station?
I can't be biased about this.
You can be.
I'm gonna. I would say Longbridge, but no, it's not. I'm gonna say Barnt Green. It's the best place to see like everything.
Alright. West Midlands train
Right.
spotting?
I'm going to say Four Oaks just because I love the fact that you can make a journey between 3 Oaks and 4 Oaks via 7 Oaks, because that is just fabulous.
You want the oak phenomenon. Nom 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 nom.
All the Oaks, all of them.
Oh,
William's getting annoyed now.
Well, we really need to do a series where we just go from like similar named stations in each country to, so things like...
Well, yeah, once we've done 3 Oaks to 4 Oaks via 7 Oaks, we can go from Earlswood, West Midlands to Earlswood, Surrey.
Oh my god, Surrey's got loads of duplications. You've got things like Reedham, Surrey to Reedham in the Wherry lines. What else? Like Cardiff Queen Street, I guess, to Glasgow Queen Street.
Yeah.
We could be here for a few
Yes.
minutes naming similarly named places. Glasgow Charing Cross to London Charing Cross. London Liverpool Street to Liverpool Lime Street. That would be interesting. But yeah, you get the idea. I've not actually been on the Cross City line proper. I've been to university from New Street. That will all. I'm going to cover the entire Cross City line soon, so you won't need to panic. But from looking at.
Make sure you wear a stab-proof vest.
Oh no! Oh, lovely.
Especially on the north side.
From photos and videos and stuff, I like the look of Longbridge.
It's had a remodel recently.
Now, can I just tell you that Liam lives nearby, so you might want to rethink that opinion.
Well, he claims it to be his local line at the start of the podcast, so, you know. And if you guys didn't catch that, you're going to have to start all the way from the beginning again and listen to every single bit in detail.
That's a good idea. Then we can steal your watch time twice.
I also like the look of... Where's that station which goes from, like, an electrified single-track branch line to a unelectrified up-track main line?
Barton Green.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah. But it's not... It's now electrified down to Bromsgrove.
Oh, big sad.
Yes.
Oh, whoops, wrong one, sir. There we go. Do you believe there is a capacity issue on cross country? This time by
Yes.
Yes, there has been ever since Operation Princess, which, if you don't know, is when Virgin Cross Country decided, oh, instead of having HSTs and like 47s, we're gonna replace them all with 5 or 4 car Voyagers, but run the service more frequently. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, honestly. Things like 2+7 HSTs were perfect.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I don't like to say negative things about Tox at all because I think the railways are fantastic, but cross-country are in dire need of a capacity upgrade. And that's, once again, just because their route is so popular. It's such a convenient route to use with the destinations they serve, and the way you can literally get across the country, Aberdeen to Penzance, in one day is an excellent service to offer. However, they do need more capacity because these services are so popular. They operate some services next to other routes. They've got fairly good value advanced singles, and it's just a win-win, really, apart from the lack of capacity.
Especially on their 170 services, I always have to stand.
We're going to improve our 170 services by adding like 1 extra coach to it. No, that's not how it works as well.
To be fair, if you added 1 extra coach to them, I'd imagine on the services which are currently 2 car, if they're made to 3 car,
I reckon they'll be fine.
All the seats will be full, but you won't have many people standing at all. So that would be fine. But the point at which it is on some of the Voyagers, where you'll have to stand for 2 hours between Birmingham and Bournemouth, that's not great.
I think cross country just need a complete and this is quite ambitious to say things like this, but they need an entire fleet replacement.
I think so. I'm hoping that'll be part of the when the franchise goes up for renewal in October, provided COVID doesn't affect that as well. I'm hoping that'll be part of the franchise agreements that they get new trains because they desperately need them.
I wonder what new trains they're going to get to replace them.
I wonder.
Hitachi be like, wink, nudge, nudge. Train with ugliest front says a different Liam. Liam's rail photography. Okay. I would say the Toasters, also known as Class 70s, but nah. I don't know, to be honest. I honestly don't know. They all look pretty nice on the front.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Southern and South Western Railway, but I've got to say the 455, just the way the cables are all over the front of the train, it makes them a bit ugly.
455s.
I think the 458s.
458s aren't that bad.
I think they're stylish.
I don't like them.
Oof.
Personally.
Yeah. I think ugly fronts, there's no real ugly front trains to talk about.
I know.
But then we can always have people bicker in the comments, so...
Well, we do like comments because that gets us higher up the algorithm on YouTube and gets us more views. And I know we do this because we enjoy it, but views are good.
We do this for the enjoyment, not for the views and subscribers. Cough, cough. Okay, we're actually on the final question now. What is your favourite train, and why? And what is your favourite of the newer trains? Favourite of the newer trains, as I mentioned before, Civities. So we're talking 331s, 195s. Not done the 397s yet. If I don't like them, that's not going to change, and it will probably change to flirts. But my overall favourite train, it's Class 313s. But I also love the 442s as well. Mark 4s I have a little bit of soft spot for too. And 450s and 444s, like the Dezeros, the classic Dezeros. So yeah, that's my pick of the bag. West Midlands train spotting?
Mine is the same for both all trains and for new trains. It's the Class 755 Flirt. I think that may change to a Class 745 once I've ridden them, purely because I'm looking forward to trying out the first class offering on them. But it's just because they look nice on the outside. They have a lovely colour scheme. Greater Anglia's livery is one of my favourites. They've got comfortable seats. Tables are aligned with the windows. It's a win-win all round, and they're fantastic trains.
Oh yes, Greater Anglia. Love the livery,
Yeah.
hate the service.
They're not that bad.
Oh
I know
no.
you've had bad experiences with them, but they're not that bad.
My favourite experience, well, favourite in, quotation marks, trying to get to Norwich. 9 o'clock to Norwich. No, 9:30 to Norwich, sorry, cancelled. 10 o'clock, cancelled. Then trying to come back from Norwich. 15:30. No, not that. 1600. There we go. Cancelled. 16:30. Cancelled. 1700. Cancelled. I was lucky that was Norwich in 90, so it wasn't another half-hour wait, but a 4-minute wait. But cancelling 3 trains back to back, you are not going to win customers from road if you cancel trains back to back to back. Sorry, GA.
Yeah.
I don't like you. Liam?
I love
like
you,
the
GA, don't worry. I'm still hanging on.
but I like the IETs. They have got comfortable seats. I know people will disagree with that. They look great.
And your
Not
favourite
much
just
of it.
overall train?
Oh, I've got 2.
323 and 350 by any chance?
323 and 172s.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, 172.
Presumably you only like the 172s because you can come and see me on them, right?
No.
Oh. Rude.
Yeah. And if you want to see me, you need more than a 172.
Yeah, you need a lot of trains to go and see Will.
I mean, one change at Clapham, then get a West London to, like, Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes to Birmingham.
my word.
Sorted. You can do it in 2 changes. Or go
Apart from we have to get into Birmingham first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get there first.
Oh, yeah. 3 changes. Bork. Alright. So that's it for questions. For how this podcast is going to go into the future, this has worked well, to be honest.
I think it's worked well.
I've enjoyed this. You've got visuals. Although, we've designed this to... We've got visuals. This is also listenable. This is a podcast, after all. I've only done it on YouTube.
There'll be people screaming in the comments now, this is not listenable.
Oi! But it's currently on YouTube only, because I don't have things like SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts or whatever. But if anyone feels like they know how to put it on, contact me at CoastwayWill on Twitter, and I will happily chat to you. We need guests. Recommend me guests. Don't put yourself up for grabs for guests, please. Unless you have,
Discord.
We want people who are involved in the industry as well to possibly come on here.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
It will be for the interview section, not for the entire podcast. So, not how people like, well, there's your problem, do podcasts with guests. But yeah, that's pretty well much it. We've done.
Yeah.
Well, this PowerPoint's been open for like an hour and 24 minutes. That's pretty good going.
And all we've seen is flickering back and forth of the title
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. That's all we've seen.
That is beautiful. Yeah. Well, I got 172008 at Nuneaton. Yeah. Nuneaton. No, not Nuneaton, sorry. Leamington Spa. It's just
Leamington Spa.
waiting to go
Going to
Nuneaton.
Nuneaton.
It's doing the shuttle. There's just a sneaky 172 looking behind. I need to go to Birmingham and get more photos.
I agree. Come and see me.
Yeah, maybe.
My
Yes.
condolences if you actually have to.
But yes, that's fun. Thank you for watching, people.
Well, they
Listening.
can't watch.
In the next episode, we don't have things planned. Also,
We've got a
See you in a
month to
month.
go.
nominate your train highlights in the comments. If enough of you say a certain train, so if you put in the comments, I want for Twain highlights the clash 390, and if enough people put that, we'll do the 390.
Oh, and put questions for next time in the comments too, because otherwise we just put tweets out 18 months, 18 hours
18
beforehand,
hours.
We're not
and
quite
then we don't get any
Eurostar
questions.
tickets, sure. Yeah, we'll have a shorter Q&A session. We just had a longer Q&A session because we didn't have a guest. But yeah,
Yes.
please send us guests. Please send us train highlight suggestions. Please send us some easier to answer questions. That's it. Alright. I swear my
Over and out. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Okay. Oh, and we all have Twitter. I'm at coastway_will.
Oh, and subscribe too, because we'd like that. Thanks.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.